Hillside. This part of AlkenStar is built into the west side of the Hellfallen Cliffs, directly across from the Screw, a giant crane capable of raising and lowering ships up and down the 500-foot tall wall. Alongside Alkenfall's waterfall, Hillside started as a shanty town full of merchants looking to trade with ship captains stuck in the Screws for several hours, long ascent or descent. A complicated network of stair and walkways built into the cliffside grant access to several cave-like shops, inns, apartments, and a recently built carnival area. The folks there are friendly to outsiders, as long as they're buying. Otherwise, the community tends to be fairly insular and mistrustful of official law enforcement, such as the shield marshals, of course. The constant spray from the AlkenStar fall keeps the south side of Hillside damp and less preferable for travelers and residents alike. North side often has much more foot traffic and pop-up outdoor shops that are little more than a merchant with a dry rug covered in various wares. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the All Guns, No Glory podcast, the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Outlaws of AlkenStar Adventure Path. 3 books. We are in Book 1, Chapter 2-ish, 3-ish. I'm not going to tell you. When last we left our heroes, why, there was a battle, and the battle was not going well, but fear not. After putting the fear of death into, well, I guess somebody did go down, but he hasn't made his dying 1, dying 2, dying 3 rolls yet. You never know. It's not over to the fat dragon sings. I want to go back in time for just a moment to recap some events which will explain what's going to happen next. Jarek Grunchy, a Ysoki rat folk swashbuckler, do-gooder, contractor, circus performer, mercenary, sword for hire, and exquisite trapeze artist, wall climber, acrobatic, and swashbuckler extraordinaire. Unfortunately, the powder keg punks targeted him a few weeks back, and he fell into their clutches. Now, having nothing to do with Lazarus, the geniekin alchemist, which is why the party had been given a chance to sort of tickle a certain monkey goblin's fancy. The poor Ysoki was literally apprehended, bag-tagged, and tossed in as a rat folk for a giant cobra's favorite meal. However, ever tenacious, escaping his bindings, taking one look at his foe, and deciding to flee up a wall, scamper and climb for his little furry life. Squeezing through a hole in the ceiling, the Ysoki is now trapped in the attic with no other way out. He has been here for 2 days, mostly sleeping, waiting for some other victim to fall prey where he can prance in, save the day, and escape the cobra's den. Now, almost giving up and terribly, terribly hungry and thirsty, the young rat folk hears a skirmish downstairs to the floorboards. Taking a moment to groom himself to make a grand entrance, he climbs over the network of attic lattice work back to the hole where he once emerged through for his safety and peers down over a scene. He sees a man bitten by the terrible cobra fall possibly to his doom, a little leashy popping out, tugging on his coattails, a dwarf valiantly fighting, using some sort of magical spell to keep a spiritual weapon aloft, and a construct of some sort, wielding pistols, carefully aiming, tracking the target with a lead razor, a red laser eye, taking shot after shot. And the best part, one of the doors is open. Welcome back to the show, Troy Phillips, doing a cameo of a very special backup character since his current character, shall we say, is not available. Troy.
Hello, everybody.
Entering the fray at round 3. You are a good 12, 15 feet off the floor, over top of some barrels in a corner, peering through a hole straight down. There you are, for the audience to see, although the podcasting audience obviously will have to picture you. What do you do?
Well, you said it's about 10 feet off the ground, 10, 15 feet off the floor?
About 12, 15, yeah.
Okay. I will obviously peek out of my little hiding hole there. And it's a perfect time. I'll actually jump out of the hole, down onto the ground. I have cat's fall, so I don't take any damage. I treat falls as if they're 10 feet shorter.
Okay.
So if it's lower than 15 feet, there's no damage for a 5-foot fall, right?
No, there is not.
Perfect. I'll jump down. Aha! My chance! Pull out my star what is it? Star
dagger?
It is a star knife.
Mm-hmm.
And look at this big snake and say, "All right, friends, let's kill this thing. I need to get out of here." And I'll throw my star knife at it.
Okay.
That should be 3 actions, right? Jump down, pull out the knife.
Okay.
And then
making a dramatic entrance, not quite in the nick of time to save poor Charwin, a rat folk dressed as a pirate in a long coat, wielding a star knife, addresses you all and whips his star knife towards your fray. I don't know how you guys feel about friend of my friend is my whatever, but for right now...
Which is a critical miss, apparently? Not the best entrance.
He, you whip it back over your head, and when you go to throw it, you don't realize that you've stuck it into a barrel behind you, and it is momentarily trapped. You must spend an action pulling it out.
And that'll be next turn.
Oh, you drop down. You pull the weapon. Yeah, pull a weapon in. Yeah,
weapon.
okay.
Throw the weapon.
Looks like we're par for the course. Deciding enough is enough. Never had been treated so well than this little leashy. Something has been happening to him since he's left the scrapyard. He's been evolving. And now little buddy decides to make a stand, picking up his master's spear and turning towards the creature that felled his beloved master. Little buddy does what? We've enhanced your familiar, Drew, and I will now let you play him in your stead. What does he do?
He will let out a rage of Charwin! Charwin! Possibly it sounds like Charwin. And he will go into rage.
Okay.
And I think there's a rage button somewhere. Oh, there it is. And then he will stab out at the snake.
Okay. 1 to rage, 1 to pick up the weapon, and 1 to stab. Or does rage cost you 2?
Rage is 1 action.
Okay.
With a 23 to hit.
That is a hit, sir.
And 12 for damage.
12 to the large snake. Now, the snake's turn had come and gone. I had forgotten, I believe, to actually do the bleed damage. So, was it D6 or D8? Do you guys remember? I think this thing was taking D8s. Like, it was pretty nasty. It takes 8 points, and then it tries to save on the end of its turn with a natural 1. Hey, it didn't go in the chat. Come on. Natural 3. Yeah, okay. It'll continue. It will continue to be hurt. Mr. Snaky here takes 8 points. Blood and gore. Ichor start to slick the floor as this thing continues to bleed out, but in its frenzy ignores it. As the little buddy picks up his master spear, jamming it into the side of the snake, it hisses wildly, which brings us around to Charwin's turn at the top of round 4. Charwin, you, sir, are no longer frightened. Isn't that great? I will remove the frightened. Awesome. I'm going to remove the frightened effect from you. However, you are dying 1 or 2. Did it crit you when you went down? So that's actually jumps you to dying 2. I need a flat 12, or you will move yourself to dying 3.
It'll be flat 11 because I have toughness, but I only got a 7. So
okay. What does toughness do?
It drops it down 1, so I get extra health every level, and then on my death saving rolls, instead of 10 plus my wounded condition, it's 9 plus my wounded condition.
Oh, cool. Okay. The old guy's got grizzle in him. But unfortunately, unconscious is not much else you can do unless somebody runs over and stabilizes you. Which leads us to Andreas Stoutbeard. Focusing on the spell, do you sustain it to your enemy, or do you run to your friend's aid as he bleeds out on the floor, protected at least by his little buddy? Andreas, what do you do?
So I will sustain the spell to take a swing at the snake, and then Andreas will head towards Charwin and stand in front of him.
Okay.
And then raise my shield.
Okay. Swing, batter, swing.
It.
Okay. Swing, batter, swing. I'm pretty sure you get full bonuses to hit this thing, like as if you were swinging your hammer, right?
Okay, I assume so as well.
Yeah, so
that's what we're gonna do here.
Yeah, just use your hammer strike, I believe. Unless the spell says you attack with arcane bonuses instead of strength bonuses. A mighty swing. Well, we'll say it misses. We'll say it misses for now, but you might want to double check if the spell actually hits with a better modifier, just so we don't screw you out of a hit. 17. Swing and a miss, and then Andreas moves. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. I believe we said Mr. Snake here does not get attacks of opportunity. And you raise your shield, pushing your little shield button to make sure your shields are at full, which brings us to Blaster Valentine. Oh, everyone's out of your way. Clear shot, sir. What do you do?
I'm going to shoot. There's just something I wanted to talk about with my character in Fantasy Grounds.
Oh, what's the matter?
My character in the combat tracker has different hit points than my actual character sheet.
Oh, maybe I've got the wrong version of you in here. I
think that's why none of my attacks were registering last game.
Yeah, probably. There we go. Blaster Valentine. Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum. PC. Okay, you know what? What initiative were we on? Oh, what was your initiative there? You were 14. You were like...
I think I was
15.
12. Just one above it. Because I was just about to go before it.
Before the snake.
Right. Snake.
Before the snake. 38 hit points. That looks good. You haven't taken any damage yet, have you? So, okay. New you is targeting. Well, glad we figured that out. Okay, have at me.
And that is this one.
To delete old versions.
I landed a 20, 33 for a crit.
Oh, here we go. This is where your gun does big damage. Deadly weapons, extra D10s.
Oh, blaster.
Oh, hey, we haven't seen him in a while. Let him have this.
That's 17 points of damage.
Nice. 7
Very
for the 7 for the main, 2 for the bonus for the crit, and an additional 8 points on the deadly die. Well done, sir. Mr. Snake, the big chunk blows out of the side of his hood and just very, 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 very well done, sir. So proud of you. I guess it helps if we put you on the board too. There you go.
There we go.
There he is. Okay. I'm not very smart, but I know the difference between something I can eat and something that's just not very edible.
Oh, that was only one action.
Yep, sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. Go ahead.
Oh,
what do you want to do? Wait, there's more? Oh, shit. What else you got for me?
I want to
Load?
reload and then move to I'll move outside the room just above the doorway.
Okay. Considering how fast your guys are falling, are you sure you don't want to take that second shot?
No, I'm not sure.
I'm just saying, we're at a point where each decision could prove fatal to the party. Do extra damage in a single round if you make this. You could fire a miss, then you're stuck where you are, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take the second shot.
Okay.
So reload and then shoot. $18 for a miss.
Sorry. And now, bitey. Oh, this thing is shooting me. I want to get away from it. There's a dwarf right in front of me. There's a little tiny dude with a spear and then dropping down. It's the meal I missed last weekend. Do I see the rat? Oh, I do. Num 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 num. I'm sorry. I just can't pass up. I'm a giant snake. He's a giant rat. You guys do the math. I know it's not. I know it sounds weird for being a prejudice thing, but anyway, I'm gonna move. I move 5. I move 10. Do you have any kind of attack of opportunity, Mr. Dwarf? Does our barbarian Leashy have any attack of opportunity as I am moving inside your long weapon range? Because you have reach.
Not yet.
No? Not any first level barbarian have a... No? Okay.
They get it eventually.
Okay. Moving within striking range and turning my attention to my next meal. I'm sure I'll eat the human later. 10-foot reach of fangs. Natural 1. This did I not turn? I wanted to turn on Fancy Grounds. I found actually has what would you call it? It has some generic
Now, I have an ability here. A foe within your reach critically. Oh, I guess it critically fails. They didn't critically fail. Never mind.
I'm not within your reach. You have 5-foot reach. I have 10-foot reach. Unless you have a 10-foot reach weapon.
Technically, the one that's stuck in the wall is a throwing weapon. But
that's not reach. That's range. That's different. Technically, range weapons don't count for reach ability. Sorry. Within your reach means arm length plus weapon.
Got it.
Okay. But we'll come back to that. I move. I dare to take a strike at you, and with the dwarf and Mr. Waving of a Spear interposing in the way, I miss terribly, causing me to stunt my you ever see the snakes with the tamers, and they got the claw and they're poking them with it, and the snake goes and then retracts at the last second, right? So as if I'm not stunned. Is it stunned? I guess. Anyway, lose my last action. Put it that way. Congratulations. I do not strike a second time in this round, bringing us all the way down to Jarek. Grunchy, do you retrieve your weapon? Do you pull another weapon? Do you run? Time back to climb. What do you do?
I will. I'll pull the star out of the wall.
Okay. Can I have a strength check, please?
What's that?
Strength check.
Ooh, that's gonna be bad.
Athletics check. It's a thing. Give me athletics check. It's not difficult.
9.
You're fine. This is a base DC of 5. Like, unless something went really wrong and you're like, it's really stuck in there. For flavor, yank it out.
Jarek has a skull as a helmet. That's kind of what he wears as a helmet.
Yep.
And you can tell it actually looks like a snake, but it's not like a deadly snake. It's more of like a garter snake or some other like of a less dangerous snake. But he still wears it as a helmet. And he's going to look over at the snake and be like, "Hey there, you buddy. See this?" Tap the helmet. "It's going to be you soon." And I'm going to try to intimidate him.
Okay. Intimidating a foe. Do I need intelligence? Because if I can't, I also need to understand your language. Now, believe it or not,
I have intimidating gaze, so I don't really have to be auditory. It can just be whatever. I just said the words, but
Oh no, that's fine. That feat adds to intimidation. I did not know you had that feat. I like the flavor. Okay, so you say all this stuff, but you give it the big glare.
Glare at him, tap the helmet, point at him. Do I need to use words, or can I just roll the intimidation now?
Oh, you can roll intimidation now. And I like the flavor. Just blah 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 blah, and then say, and then I glare at him with this feat. Otherwise, like I said, I would be countering it.
23.
Ooh. Okay. And what are you intimidating against? My creature level, isn't it?
I'm not sure. Let me look and see here. Intimidation.
That's my creature. Where is Mr. Buddy? Here we go. Mr. Buddy has a base of 10. Is a... Where's my level? Creature level 5.
Like
so that's
I'm trying to demoralize him. My mistake.
Okay. It's at least 15. And then possibly wisdom on top of that. Because I get 10 plus my creature level.
Mm-hmm.
So demoralize, what does it say? What do you need to go against? It'll say my class DC or something.
I'm just trying to find it here. So I had a...
It should be in the skill. Should actually be in the skill.
Yeah, under demoralize it says target's will DC.
Oh, my will DC. Okay, never mind. So that's 19. So you don't beat it by 10 for a crit fail, but you do beat it. So I am demoralized. I don't like the way you're looking at me. So what happens to me? I will add the effect right now.
The target becomes frightened 1.
Oh, okay. A little hesitant, a little dodgy. Mr. Buddy.
Now immune to being demoralized for 10 minutes. I now gain panache, which allows me to have a little bit extras to my attacks and finishers and whatnot.
Okay. So you gain this immediately because your opening move was to pull a thing out of the wall, but your opening attack, as it were, is to demoralize me. And how it's demoralized, is that 1 action or 2? It should say right in the skill. I think it's a single.
Demoralize is a single action.
Okay, so you got 1 action left. I am demoralized. You have panache. What happens now?
I will throw my star knife at him again.
Okay.
Because I can't move.
And what does panache give you? Can you use it with this attack, or?
Yes, because I have the skill of, where is it here? Flying Blade, which allows me to apply my panache damage to ranged weapons.
Okay, so panache it allows you to have precise damage, like a sneak attack, right?
Precise strike. So it adds an extra 2 damage to regular attacks. And then if I use a finisher, it adds an additional 2d6 damage.
Okay, cool. Have at me.
All right.
Wings.
That is a 14.
Which is a hit. Star knife damage. Add the +2. If you put, since you said you don't have panache or whatever, if you put a +2 in the modifier before you hit the damage, it should give it to it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the damage here. Things didn't load up on Fantasy Grounds, right? It's not giving me any damage dice reactors here, so let me just see what I have to roll for the damage.
Oh, okay.
It's 1d4 plus 2. Okay. Now, how does the finisher work? Can I use the finisher on him? Confident finisher. It takes an action, so I can't.
Okay.
So yeah, I will do that. So it's a 2 damage, and it's a 1d4 plus... I guess I would add my... What would be my modifier for that? It would be...
Dexterity. What, for damage?
Yeah.
It's strength, because you're hurling a weapon with your arm.
But because I'm a swashbuckler, I think it uses dexterity instead. because it's a finesse.
There would be a talent for that listed, or maybe something at higher level. They don't give you everything up in front in this. They chip away. Like, only fighters get attack of opportunity, not everyone. Swashbuckler probably allows dex to its mods, but maybe not out of the gate. Like, unless there's a talent or feat right away that says you get this, you do not yet.
Can't remember. I'll put it as that. Then I'm gonna leave it at that. That's fine. And that's +2. It is going to be 3 damage total.
Now you're 3rd level, so you might have something under your belt.
Again, I don't see the damage on here at this exact moment. It's just kind of...
You're a creeper, your next cut, flying blade. Unless they're just like stuff like flying blade was what you took as opposed to something that lets you do the dex, you know? Anyway.
Yeah, I think I did. That's okay.
Okay.
And that's it.
3 points, okay. Chipping away. Boing. Which brings us to little buddy.
He will continue just attack.
Okay.
That's what he loves to do right now. That's all
Little
he can
buddy,
think
you're the one. Squeak, squeak. You make combat so much fun. Squeak, squeak. Little buddy, I'm so awfully fond of you. No? It's
Yeah.
the new version of the song.
about. Right in the bathtub.
Yeah.
25 for a hit
Oh, there you go. Little buddy's doing all the work now.
with 12 more damage.
Oh, geez. He gets a +6 to his damage. Nice. He just puts his foot. You ever see the guys that try to take down charging horsemen? They put their foot on the staff on the ground and they hold it with their hands and it's like planting the staff, bracing it, right? He just braces the thing and just, nicely done, sir. Mr. Bitey. Let's have a look at Mr. Bitey here. He is getting very, very wounded. He's blood pouring out of him. It's still going. It's still thrashing. But you guys see multiple cuts, wounds, shots. This thing is actually starting to slow down. Not that I'm going to cost him a more action economy. My natural 1 rolls do that already. But you guys do notice that it's starting to get, for flavor, groggy. It is down to critical wounds. Little buddy, what else you got? Anything?
I am debating whether or not he should attack again. I think he will, though.
Okay, with penalties if you please.
Yep.
Big fat -5.
With an 11.
Critical miss. You enamored, engorged, enraged with your first strike. You pull it out and strike again, and as this thing weaves it, disarming in this takes like several steps, so I don't think it would knock it from your hand, but it knocks your hands numb and costs you an action, denying
This
you your
only
third
enrages him or
extra rage, costing you an action. Bringing us to Charwin. At 5, you go from dying 2 to dying 3. So 13 becomes a 12.
12. Yep. Go. Oh, 18.
18 for stabilization. You do not bleed out today. The mighty Charwin and Charles the Wind legend lives on.
That just raises me 1. Now I'm dying 2, right?
No, you actually become wounded 1. You stabilize and you lose the dying condition and you become wounded 1, but you're still unconscious. So I give you the wounded condition. Wounded condition, where are you? And if you get knocked down again, the wounded 1 jumps you to extra dying because it's wounded 1. But you're still asleep, still having a nappy, but at least you won't bleed out. Which brings us to Andreas, who is standing over you, defending you with his shield. And he does what?
Sustain with 1 and 2 action heal.
Nice.
And it is a spell attack roll, but thankfully my spell attack roll is the same as my attack roll with the light hammer, So I'll just still use just the
I was
right
actually hoping I offered you some retcon, like it would be better, but oh well, we tried.
hand. No, it was actually one worse because I used my Warhammer roll the last time, which is a +1 Warhammer, so it would have been one less anyways. So it is what it is.
It is what
Here we go.
All right.
Yeah.
Swing away.
Oh, I swing on another miss. Instead of rolling an 8, I rolled a 9 for a 17.
Okay. And then you turn.
2 action heal.
Okay. And
Which
that's
is the last one I
just a
have.
D8.
Oh no, I have one more.
It's a D8 plus 8.
Yes.
Okay, hang on. I think you just healed the snake. Let me target Charwin.
So no, at this level, it's 2d6 plus 16 he gets.
Okay, have at me. Push plus buttons, not teardrop blood buttons.
Yes.
$2d6 or 2d8? 2d8.
Yes, 2d8 plus 16.
Nice. Okay.
But I thought I had healing hands, though. Hang on, let me just quickly have a look at my feats, because I thought I had healing hands, which should have turned it to d10s. Healing hands, I do have healing hands. So it should have been 2d10 plus 16,
so-
but still, though, that's...
No, it's fine. I'll let you keep this. 5 and a 4 isn't bad, or you can risk 2d10 with lower rolls, and I will make you keep the 2d10 plus 16. Your choice.
Yeah, we both know how that's going to go. So
You
25
quit while
it
you had-
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charwin, you stabilize all on your own, happy in the fields of Xandor, wherever your god takes you, and then all of a sudden this giant dwarven hand comes down and crushes the flowers in your field, and you run in terror, and another shield comes down, mopping the ground, and you slam into the shield, and then you wake up, and damn it, you gotta go back to work, you're back on the clock. 25 hit points currently, down to 13 wounds. You lay on the ground, and your initiative changes to below Andreas at 17, and it becomes... Does it become your turn? I guess you had a turn this round. Yeah, sorry.
I think I would wait.
Well, like, knocking you down changes your initiative. For some reason, I got in my head that waking you up changes your initiative. I'll say that you stay there, you're conscious, but, we'll come back around to you. Which brings us to Blaster Valentine, because I believe Andreas is done with reactions. Blaster.
Reload, engage enemy.
Okay. Reload. And shoot. Come on, Blaster. You got this, buddy.
Yes, reload first action.
I have every confidence that you will prove...
I hit
There we
him
go.
with a 1932.
Thank you, because if any more people died, Eric would be so pissed, because he told me. He said, I don't want to adventure with 3 party members. I hear this adventure's tough. See, you guys pulled through. Charwin's alive for now.
You hear like some mechanical whirring and like see some extra fingers almost like come out of my hand and latch onto the pistol for extra guided accuracy and fire a shot.
Pulls the hammer back even further, if that's even possible. He overclocks his gun. And then,
Hit him for 18 damage.
right between the eyes, and Bitey the snake goes down. I forgot to pull crit cards. I kept forgetting. I have a name. You guys could have done all kinds of nasty things to it, but that's fine. Bitey goes down in a big pool of blip. And somehow, like every video game, the body vanishes, as you can see on the screen here, and he just becomes a smear.
Gotta say, I'm liking my rolls tonight.
Yeah. Charwin, you sit up. And you sitting up and reaching out to your little friend whose back is to you, swinging the spear, poking the snake endlessly, seems to calm the little guy. And he seems to deflate, as if all the air in him is now deflating. And he shrinks back down to his regular tiny size, drops your spear, and hugs your leg. Happy to see you back.
Charwin will pick up the spear from him. Maybe reach out to Andreas for a steady hand to get up.
Absolutely. Grab your wrist and help you pull up. Good to have you back, my friend.
To the snake. looking at that snake and kind of wondering if there's a way I could cut the skull out of it.
You could, but it would be too big. It's a large snake. Its head is like 3 times the size of yours. You can wear it on your back, like the fangs hanging over your shoulders, like some kind of turtle armor. He's Snake Man. That would be funny because I wouldn't even realize this. I made the joke about you being snake preferable food before I learned that this character has a snake helmet. You just start collecting snake skulls, and you're like this rat fights back, people.
A snake helmet when I jump down. So.
Oh no, it's good. That's good. You just start chopping the head off.
If these guys don't mind, do you guys need the head? Because if you don't need the head, I'm just gonna take it with me. I might be able to just kind of modify my helmet, or maybe just make a better helmet out of it. You know what I mean? Is it okay, guys?
I'm sorry. Who is this?
Who are you?
I'm sorry. Hi, guys. I'm Jarek. These guys tried to feed me to this snake a couple of days ago. I hid up in the rafters. Then you guys started getting your asses kicked, and I saw that as my opportunity. So, can I have the head?
Any piece of that monster is yours. I do not want to ever see it again.
Thanks, guys. I'm gonna use my star knife. Just kind of.
They're all nodding and throwing up. Yeah, sure. It's all good. It's all yours, man. Okay.
On another note, Jarwin, are you okay? That you look like you took a nasty hit back there.
I'm doing okay now, maybe. I could definitely use some more heals later on.
Can I treat wounds out of combat? 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll have to, or do we just go out and see Glaz now?
It's up to you. You can just go out and just close the door quietly. We need a minute. Sure. I don't see why not.
You air breathers take a minute, so
you could try. If he opens the door and comes rushing in and interrupt and shit goes down, I'll let you know. But if you guys want to just start healing him up, go right ahead. Can I have a heal check,
I'll do
please?
so.
Yeah.
Nice, 24.
Okay.
One shy of a crit, unfortunately.
That's okay. He's only got 13 wounds. You can stitch him up.
Well, 11 back.
That's not bad.
All right, thank you.
Okay, down to 2 wounds. All right, 10 minutes. While this is going on, Valentine, you have the room. Your new friend is interested in the body. Let's say Valentine searches the room. Yes.
Oh yes, I definitely go up to search that snake for any valuables.
Where do you search on a snake?
I leave that to my scanner.
Check his pockets.
Oh, I thought you'd be interested in the rest of the room. Like you said, you want nothing to do with the monster, and since Buddy's all over it, there's a room with a nest and barrels and.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't
Make
really
sure
have a
that
chance to
Glaz
search
isn't
this
hiding
room
any
earlier,
other.
so, I have no idea what's in here, guys, but I don't need anything from it, so I just want this head. Just give me an awesome helmet, man.
This guy acts like he knows us.
I don't know anybody. I just want this snake head. But you guys help me get out of this room, so I'm just gonna be friendly for a bit.
You've been in here all this time with the snake. How is it you managed to live this long?
Well, I'm a little guy for one, and I climbed up in the rafters and I held up in the attic. So there's a little hole up there. If you just look up to the right there above the door, there's a hole. And I got in there and I just kind of hung out in there for a couple of days. I'm pretty tired. I'm really hungry, but I'm okay. And I thank you guys for helping me get out of here.
Yeah, I guess I'm being a little hard on you. You did jump in at the perfect time to help us.
Aye, you did. You caused a distraction that allowed us to defeat the creature, so not bad.
I just want to
Not
say
bad at
thank
all.
you guys for distracting the creatures so I could get out of my hole and kill it. Well, you guys killed it. I just kind of helped.
We could use some extra muscle if you want to stick around.
I was about to say no guarantees we're getting out of here, right? We still got to deal with Glass.
Well, there's not much I really... Once we get out of here, I have my own things I need to take care of, but if we need help getting out of this place, I can stay around for that, I think.
With the Isoki shy to join the party, do you guys at least tell him where he can find you guys in the future at the Bolt and Barrel?
Yeah.
Yeah?
The Bolt and Barrel, eh? Okay, so I'll write that down, keep notes,
Yeah.
and if we
The
run into each other, well, we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Leashy stamps over and presents you with a business card. Charwin and Associates, Bullet and Barrel Saloon headquarters.
Oh, thank you.
It's printed on a leaf, Okay, you guys march back outside to face your fate.
Did I find anything in the barrels?
No,
and glass?
unfortunately, no. It's just crap. Get up. Tentatively marching back outside, expecting an ambush or worse. Possibly, maybe, yes. Who knows?
Well, Gliz, we have defeated the beast. Now will you answer our questions?
Congratulations, you survived. You must be so pleased with yourself. That was really something. He puts a furry paw up to his mouth and stage whispers, I also made a lot of coin on you, so thanks for winning. Gives you a big thumbs up. Nibrix gives you a thumbs up while one of the gunners pouts, sits down up on the ledge and starts counting out silver pieces into his lap. Nibrix grins, then chuckles and says, okay, here's everything I know about your friend. Sometimes this guy, Shoma Lysarius, needs things he can't buy. He hires us to pick these things up, paying us with kegs of black powder and crates of alchemist fire. Well, this time he wanted the egghead. Big bounty, bigger payment. We got half up front, but... And he gives you a sly wink, because of you. Couldn't deliver on the goods. Great job on that, by the way. Very violent. 5 stars. Anyway, now little Shuma wants his payment back. Instead, we'll give him something far better. You! That'll teach him for costing me so many good punks. He's staying at apartment down in Hellside. Here's the address. And he waves over at one of his lackeys who starts coming down a ladder and walks over to a barrel and starts bringing you guys a whole barrel. You guys could read, right?
On my good days.
So he comes over with a small crate, sorry, not a barrel, and there's a shipping slip dangling from one of its edges. You could take the stuff in the box too, Nibrix says. It was mixed in with the alchemist's fire. Bunch of junk. Barely even burns. What a waste. Guys take the crate. Check the label.
Yeah, both.
Label says Hollow Manor Estates, Hillside, apartment I-1. Anything else you want to know?
Thanks for your help. This will be all.
All right. Well, keep it real. You stay in touch. You guys just get the hell out of here when things go sideways, or what do you want to do?
And if you find yourself with another giant snake, do not call us again.
I like this
Snake
guy.
is
He's
hungry.
funny.
Don't send him after me. We're living, breathing creatures, not snake food. We'll kill it again.
What do you know?
Like
Back
I
from the
found it.
dead.
Dad, I didn't even die. I had to hide away in the attic. You're lucky that you have some sort of deal with these friends here, or maybe I'll be coming after you next. Consider this a warning. And
They
I'm gonna
just
leave you-
they just laugh at you. Rat folk's kind of pushing your luck, guys. What do you what do you do?
So, this has nothing to do with these guys. This is just between me and you. I'm considering us on even ground now that that snake is dead.
I think Charwin starts to leave while he's still talking to him. Like, whoops.
I'll let you off this time, says the rat folk. Okay. Those dudes pick up the crate and start marching for the door, and while you're, settling the score with the gang leader, you find yourself suddenly alone. A little grunchy?
Tap on the helmet, at him, and then keep walking out the door with these guys.
Okay. You guys beat feet and put a couple of happy blocks between you and this wretched warehouse before the little Yosoki wants to turn down a different street, and as he bids you farewell.
I say again, my friend, thank you very much for the help in that room. Even though you didn't know I was there, the assistance was much appreciated. The Vault and Barrel is where I'll find you if I need you again. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. And scamper up on the roofs and ripping around out there, kind of acrobatic.
Yeah. He just Zorro's out of here.
Charwin will turn to Andreas. I wasn't imagining him right. I mean, I went down, and then all of a sudden there was a little rat guy.
I'm kind of torn. I like him as much as I like Pilo. So.
Yeah, it just kind of fell from the woodwork. That's he come out of nowhere.
Well, I mean, he didn't trump Tuck Fume's entrance coming down a zip line from a Zeppelin, but it's not like Tuck Fume jumped into a battle and helped you. He just jumped into a scrapyard full of rats, and Anyway, so guys, take your spoils back to the Bullet and Barrel and punch the old dwarf chick in the face for putting you hiring you in the first place.
Yeah, let's go back and check our spoils.
Okay.
Definitely.
There is one more thing. When our little Yosoki guy is threatening before he starts walking backwards with you type of thing, Nisbrix offers to show you guys a few tricks. He thought you guys were very entertaining. And by a few tricks, there's an entire section of black powder feats that he can teach you. A bunch of cool things you can do with hand-to-hand and unarmed combat with black powder. Either use unarmed wraps or the actual knuckle dusters, and you add black powder, and there's a whole bunch of cool feats and stances and stuff that's his fighting style that he's willing to teach you guys.
I think Charwin would decline.
Yeah, well, not on the spot necessarily. I think they leave this guy open that if you wanted to come back a couple levels, because some of those things are first, second, third, 6th level feats, just something. Anyway, that being said, we made ourselves a new frenemy. And getting back to the Bullet and Barrel, where are we here? We're just looking into what's in the crate here. 6 jars of moderate bottled lightning. And I'll put that in the treasure in your party sheet. You guys can decide to do with that. Later. If this stuff is valuable, you guys could actually put this towards a down payment. Do you remember how she's keeping bodies of your original characters on ice? You could forward these bottles of lightning payment to possibly resurrect one of them. I mean, we did get close to death's door, and you guys don't have Leashy's familiars to play. Anyway. Treasure. Dun, 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 dun. Let's get some treasure. Bottled lightning. You guys take it back, and without rolls, because you have an inventor and an alchemist on hand, they quickly tell you that this thing is an alchemical item, can be used as an alchemical bomb, and each one is worth 10 gold each. +1 to attack rolls. Bomb deals 2d6 electrical damage and 2 electricity splash damage. They're grenades, electrical grenades. Handy for everyone to have in a fight. Could save your life. Or at 10 gold each, that's 100 silver each. That's 600 silver. You'd be well on your way to resurrecting a friend. I don't know if you guys think they're too valuable as grenades and want to and start passing them out. It says 1 bottled lightning moderate. That's not right. The treasure only gave you 1, but in the book here it says he's got 6. Yeah, 6 jars of moderate bottled lightning. Okay. Fantasy grounds being chintzy.
Bottled lightning.
Yeah, moderate. And moderate means like as opposed to lesser 1d6 or greater like 3d6. Anyway, there's 6 of them. Poof, there we go. In the party loot.
That could be useful. There's a lot of mechanical stuff around here.
Yeah. I mean, at the very least, you guys might want to have, like 1 each on you and then stash 2 at the bullet barrel or something, or have a couple on you.
Oh, we'll leave 1 for our cat folk friend. I'm sure he'll be super excited. We should probably just leave it on the floor, though. I mean, leave it on a table and you never know if he'll...
It's a sparkling bottle that he kicks around. I'm chasing it right now. Well, his favorite friend is here. Valentine, he wants to play the laser game. I want to do my workout, and Valentine gives him the laser eye up the wall. Because I've been stuck in this lab working with Crazy Pants. I'm wondering if I give this to Charwin, does it give you all of them or one of them? Okay. Anywho, guys, back at the Bottle and Barrel Saloon, planning our next move. What do we know about Hellside besides the cool lore I just happened to drop at the beginning of the
It's probably a good moment where you'd have the door be kicked in and, what's going on, everybody?
That's exactly what happens. Funny you should mention your yeah.
You guys have missed one of the greatest things that's ever happened. One of the people I asked if they wanted to join my army said yes. I now have 1 new skeleton to add when we have fights against bad things.
So you murdered someone?
I didn't murder anybody.
You talked him into suicide? Oh, God, you gave him the Kool-Aid? What? To become a skeleton, one must not live. And then what, you're just going to summon that body later?
Well, I see Pilo thinks that as whenever he kills something and then he can animate dead, he's summoning that creature's skeleton, even though it's not really that, but that's what Pilo thinks.
You just literally convinced somebody to off themselves and then came into a bar full of people that are very well aware of Geb and saying, hey, guys.
I would figure I would walk to the table and talk to my friend.
Okay, sorry. Maybe in the back. Yeah, maybe in the back. Okay. Yeah. Well, for some reason, they're pushing up their sleeves and balling their fists at you. They're already punching you in the face for abandoning them in the first place. Diplomacy check. Or they're going to beat you with an inch of your unlife. He thinks I'm kidding. Oh, really? They had all agreed. After you've taken off for 3 weeks trying.
I'm not sure how to release Jarek and pick up Pilo again. I can only view Jarek. Release, unlock position, or release. There. Now I can. No, I can't pick him up.
Hang on. I'll look after it.
And Jarek just disappeared after I released him. Uh-oh.
Hang on.
Back at the bullet and barrel.
There. Close your character sheets. Like close the windows and reopen characters, and Pilo should be available for anyone to grab, and you can grab them.
I'll figure that out.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the map here. There we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. Back at the bullet and barrel. Where all of our friends combine. Back room instead of the front room, because now that we're secret agents, well, none of us took the... well, I won't finish that sentence. You guys take some food, take some dinner, take some rest? Did you want to rest the night and get topped up, or is this just several hours later and we're planning our next move?
Yeah, I could recharge my batteries.
What do you do to eat anyway? Like, is that a thing with you with construct?
No, I don't. I don't think I have to consume anything. I just I have to take like a minimum, or I only need like 4 hours of rest or something like that.
Okay.
Time.
But you don't consume anything. You don't
4 hours of rest and that's it.
You talked about how you can be poisoned and stuff like a real person because you have a fluid circulatory system and a coolant, and you're like a liquid cooled CPU. And
I don't think, like, I was wondering also, like, I don't think they I breathe air, so could I go underwater indefinitely, kind of thing?
It'll tell you in your basic description. It won't. You don't assume what you can't do. It assumes you do everything a human can, unless it says, "I don't breathe, I don't bleed." You know what I mean? Like, you could take bleeding damage because you seep mechanical fluids, right? And you have wires instead of nerves, and you have, like, because you're put together, right? So there is sort of instead of walking around being immune to all kinds of D&D damage, as it were. Same thing with Pylo. I mean, he doesn't breathe, but he does have vulnerable. He has some superhero immunities for being a skeleton, but he also has a bunch of vulnerabilities. And they should be listed. And again, if not, it probably gets covered in the ancestry stuff. It'll say, haha, you can hold your breath longer, or haha, you get solar panels and now you only need 2 hours sleep. And, a lot of that stuff is sort of covered as you move along. I would suggest looking into ancestry feats of constructs and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this is a real build it from the ground up system. So you say, okay, I'm this, but you're not like the 10th level or Luke Skywalker Jedi kind of version of you. You're this barely put together low level dude that, and as you go along, you're either activating subsystems that are dormant, making upgrades, blah, blah, blah. Is how I've seen the system handle odd races so far, but there should be a base package going, hey, all constructs do this for beasts, and then like all player constructs, the puppet, you, and the other ones have this in common and love certain traits and immunities. Anyway, but we could say that's. You can look into it now. I mean, the audience would love to know more about the interesting races that you play, but I'm interested in hearing a little bit of the banter. A few hours later, and Pylo's been given his naughty undead timeout for implying that he's murdered people, and he's on a chalkboard. I will not endorse suicide of my cult members. He writes it out 1,000 times. What's your next move? Are we going to traipse right off to Hillside before sunset, or are you guys doing some internal? I must learn more about my gears and gadgets, and we can deep dive into your ancestries and stuff. It's your game time to burn. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I think Charwin would really like to get some spells back, and reassess his.
You're calling for a sleep, life choices.
And how he almost died. He might want to reflect on that just a little bit.
Okay.
I would second that as well. Need some more spells. Or at least get the spells back that I have.
Okay. So assuming that we have the evening to do as we wish, but you will rest and you're not heading out till the morning kind of thing, fresh whatever. You guys can spend the evening making plans. Or you can all hit the hay early and get up really early and spend the early morning making plans. And we can start your discussion there. Just realized that I don't have a camera view on here. There we go.
So I guess I'll want to get some information maybe on Shoma Lysarius and then also on Hillside.
Okay. So you head out early in the morning after prayers and do the D6 hours or D4 hours gather info skill bit?
I just thought, just chatting more with the party, seeing like what our next steps are here.
Oh, okay. Knowledge Society might tell you a little bit more about Hillside, but honestly, like there's the spiel I gave. There's more to it. But it's more things like the Hillside's history as opposed to like, what's going on now. It literally is a shanty town nailed into the side of a cliff with caves, apartments, shops that are one rug wide or like a little room wide, all kinds of people up and down. It's sort of a gypsy vibe going on. They don't like the law, and as long as you're buying, you're their best friend, kind of thing. Yeah. And it's kind of dangerous. Like it's like Smokeside is the industrial bad side of town. This is the sort of mercantile bad side of town. Like I would say that the black market is here, but you could probably buy black market items here and, got to watch yourselves. Go as a group. Don't go alone.
That's fair. Don't ask too many questions. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. But funny enough, shady people are here, and as long as you kind of keep to yourself, like they wouldn't pay Pilo much mind. I don't think they'd line up as he handed out flyers for his recruitment camp of summer camp and Kool-Aid, but you know what I mean? Like a lot of them, you get a lot of guys wearing a simple cloak and hood, keeping to themselves and, shambling around. It would make sense that Lysarius is hiding out here. I mean, he's hired punks to kidnap somebody. He's been making bulk purchases at Rika's, but things are starting to point to him as far as the underbelly of this formula and where we're going with this adventure.
So what do we know about? Do we know anything of him? Do you guys do you remember anything about him, guys, or no?
About Shoma?
Yeah.
He was like a aspiring student at like the magical academy.
He quit or left, or I mean, he uses his former student ID to buy stuff from Rika. That's how he's allowed on campus, but probably does it in the twilight hours.
Yeah, he might be one of those kids that was trying to do stuff that wasn't allowed at the school, so he's trying other means to get his experiments.
I can tell you he's not a kid. He's like, that was back in the day, and now years later he goes back and
okay.
Shoma's a man. He's got to be in his late 20s, early 30s, if not 40 something. He's one of those guys that are like, time's getting on and he hasn't made a big thing with his career, and they get desperate and they start doing, shady shit.
I was imagining early 20s college student.
Yeah. Let me just double check. Gadaby might know something about him because he runs in those circles, right? He's heard of them or knows, but same kind of thing that you've surmised. It would be in Gadaby's own words, but a lot of it would just be like, yeah, he's shifty, the academy. He hasn't shown up. How Gadaby went to the academy stage and they thought he was a crackpot and he blew up a safe, and they're like, now everybody wants the crackpot's formula, right? Lazenby, if he went to the academy and said, I've got the latest, greatest thing, they would probably turn him away. He would really have to like corner a professor, show him something on the spot, and then get a professor's petition to like, this is the biggest thing ever, and get me on the, to like, because the guy does not have a professional reputation anymore. He's
and the crate that we got has his address on it.
Yeah. So you remember the reagents and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it might be shantytown, but it's merchant shantytown, and like, deliver this to my address. And sure, Hillside. I know it seems funny that the bad guy literally has address printed on a ticket, but yeah, he does. You have to get it off a gangster who almost killed you with his pet for fun. So, very Bond moment there, but yeah.
What was the other thing that Glad said? They hired him to get a person instead of things?
Yeah, so this little monkey guy is the leader of the Powder Keg Punks, and they were hired to kidnap Gadaby. You got to Gadaby first, so his punks set up an ambush on the bridge, and you killed them all and got Gadaby away. So Shoma paid Nyx to get Gadaby. He paid him half up front, and like he said, you did a very good job, even though you were like back then 5 minutes ago we're enemies. This nut bar no longer sees us as enemies. He sees you guys. He's just business. You know what I mean? I had a job to do. You had a job to do. You won. Shoma, my employer, wants his money back. Like they got paid half up front, right? Half up front, the rest when you deliver Gadaby. They never delivered Gadaby. You have them. So now Shoma contacts them and says, hey, give me my money back. Give me my deposit back. And they go, no. Right? And they're not really happy with him. So he's going to betray Shoma by, I'm going to give him you. He gives you his address. But only after making you jump through some hoops. I know not a lot's clear with some of my crazy accents following the story, but, in a nutshell, yeah, that's what went down.
So remind me again, what do we need Shoma for? What do we want to get out of Shoma?
That's a good question.
So yeah, it didn't...
Is Phoebe the one who sent us after him?
Yeah, she said that there must be somebody hiring the powder keg punks.
So she wants us to bring Shomas back here so she can ask him some questions? Maybe?
She's a spy handler kind of person, right? She works for the Countess, right? It's like Three Musketeer kind of spy thing going on, right? She's really not comfortable that somebody knew where Gadaby was holding up and we're like literally on top of him almost as fast as she got her agents, there. So she's like, okay, now that we've got Gadaby in the formula safe, who's interested? Who is behind? You know what I mean? Because these mercenaries could lead to a bigger fish, and it has Shoma, which could lead to, a nation,
then we can find out why.
Yeah, like her boss, the Countess, wants to know who is behind, and this type of thing goes up a food chain, right? You guys are agents of, they were mercenaries. Okay, the punks, they don't do this kind of thing normally. Well, apparently they got paid in their favorite commodity, black powder, which they love playing around with, right? But Shifty Shoma, they're like, screw them. Shoma's an idiot for hiring a bunch of gangsters, Anyway, so now Shoma, who doesn't seem like a very important person, is behind this. There's got to be more. And Phoebe is paying you guys to, I need answers for the Countess, so continue. Now, if this is getting shifty for you guys, if you're like, you know what, nope. Every time you come back, you can say, I'm done. I'm out. Resurrect my last guy. Maybe he's an idiot and go after this fool's errand of yours. Like, you know what I mean? Or you can write yourself right out of the show and I'll use you in some of my other shows. But just like, if you believe your character,
Yeah, I think Charwin's just kind of taking the crate all the way back to him, delivery.
Oh, it's your excuse to
see him, talk to him a little bit, maybe do a little stakeout.
Is it going to be full of the stuff, or are you going to swap it out, or are you going to just take it back empty?
I was thinking either empty or, explosives.
So you're like, knock, knock, the powder keg punks. I'll never get that right. The gangsters sent me. Here's your stuff back, or some of it, right?
Yeah, ignore the flame infuse. It's fine.
It says Acme on the side of the crate.
It's their flair. Rather than wrapping it with a bow, they put fuses on it.
Yeah. It's tied in white string that's ignited at the ends. No, you're fine.
So does Phoebe come into the back room with us to discuss?
Oh yeah, she's been around. Like I said, we're kind of this is what as opposed to encounter mode or exploration mode, this is what the system Pathfinder Second Edition calls downtime. So whether you guys want to role play some stuff or we're just having a very loose discussion with me, the GM, about what do you guys want to do? What do you think you should do? Right. But to get answers or to get motivation, then someone like Eric will pop up going, well, in character, what do we know about Shoma? Who can we talk to? Can we gather intel? And we're flipping into the character, but picture hours going by, Phoebe's talked to you, or you can pull her aside and say, hey, we're ready to talk more, or what else do you know, kind of thing. But as far as I can tell, she doesn't know Shoma, and Gadaby, because he's from the same circles, knows about the old Shoma that went to college, and now word on the street is he's kind of fallen from grace and he's living in a hole and dealing with gangsters. But Phoebe really doesn't like, it's just way too convenient that they got that close to the formula. And the formula, as she said, is a state secret. Because technically you work for a secret agent, which kind of makes you guys what they call assets. Expendable. But assets is a good thing,
So, Phoebe, I assume the next stages of the plan are for us to go get this Shomas and bring him back here.
Well, I definitely want you to go to Hellside and look into him. Find out what he's about. Find out if he works for anyone. Go search his place so you can find answers.
Okay. So if we brought him back here, that would probably be a bad idea, draw unwanted attention.
Well, you don't have to rough him up or, Okay. If he's the mastermind or somebody's puppet, I don't think he's going to go lightly. If anyone but the punks show up with that crate, Charwin, or a shield marshal, he might bolt. So you might want to have to kind of sneak up on him at his place, cage him, so to speak.
Just so you guys know, I do have this ability to make myself look like a human, or any kind of humanoid. Lasts for about 10 minutes, because last time I forgot to turn it off, but I can make myself look like someone useful if we need it. For 10 minutes.
Then make him in handy.
Would you make yourself into a monkey goblin?
Well, is that a humanoid type creature? I don't even know.
What in all the realms is a monkey goblin?
Oh, Glass. We just saw him.
Oh, that is what that little furball was?
You know what? I can turn into a goblin. That's one of the things that I'm just kind of closing my eyes here and thinking about it. A goblin's something that I could probably do.
Now, can you
You'd have to describe him for me, because I haven't seen this guy.
I was going to say, is it someone specific? If you can do a generic monkey goblin, sure, but it doesn't mean you can do glass. There's a difference between turning into a race and turning to someone specific.
Well, I suppose any monkey goblin could work.
I don't know.
People
This
just
dude
think
looks
it's a
very
powder
specific. Like, this guy is very specific.
Oh, the other powder punk kegs don't look like him, right?
No.
They're more elvish or fairy-like or something. Right?
You guys have run into enough of them that you guys could use deception to disguise yourselves as them. Phoebe could probably help you with disguises. Now, did you guys not buy the hats?
We didn't.
No.
Would you like to buy them now with those bombs? The hat to disguise, now that you guys actually have cash and stuff? Because it's
like a minute, right?
A minute or 10 minutes or something, but it's enough for them to get somebody to open a door, right? He looks out the door through the magical peephole, and you guys all look like punks, and like, oh, it's you idiots, come on in, right? Like, you only need to get through a threshold.
How much were the hats again?
I'd have to look that up, but I'm just saying, if there's the mundane disguise where you guys could put shit together and blah, 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 but having a magical hat where you could just, do anything you want pretty much. And again, there's levels of DC difficulty if you try to go for someone specific versus just a generic race. But like Charwin said, a generic powder keg punk, way easier to disguise yourself as opposed to their leader, who Shoma has probably talked to. I mean, this monkey goblin's pretty sociable, even with enemies, as you found out.
Well, I can't do anybody specific, but I can look like a goblin, I guess. But I don't know if that helps anybody. But those hats... Who has those hats anyways? You guys talked about them. I don't know if I was even there for that. But you've talked about them a few times.
You were there when they gave them back. Because they picked you up on the way back. want to buy them? She's like, nope. You guys are like, nope, we do rich for us. And she's like, all right. She collected them all up.
Did we get paid for going and getting that information from Glaz?
That is a good question. I think she's trying to get you to track down Shoma and Leeds. I don't know if it's a pay stop every time you come back.
Oh, okay. It's not.
Sorry, it's a bit of what I don't know. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
it's fine if we aren't, and it is just like once we find Shoma, then that's like
no. But if I owe you money, then by all means, right? So.
Yeah, I think if the hats are too expensive, then maybe we can just use
they can't be any
Haill
more than
to
10 gold
get her
each.
in.
And like I said, I'm pretty sure you could trade a bottle per hat. Like, I don't think these hats are more than 10 gold each.
Well, my friends, if those hats are only like 10 gold or so, your friend Philo here just doesn't really use a lot of money, and I got quite a bit of it, so I will buy the hats for us if we need them.
Why? How much money do you have?
79 gold.
Oh, okay.
Let me
Is that
just
like
over.
left over from your starting money?
That's just from whatever we've getting paid here and there and everywhere. And
Oh,
Philo
okay.
doesn't- Might buy another elixir of unlife, but other than that, Philo doesn't need it. Sorry, oil of unlife, my mistake.
Yeah, otherwise I was thinking we trade in 2 bottles of lightning out of the 6.
What bottles of lightning?
Well, when you were off gallivanting around, we got this crate full of magic lightning bottle.
That's amazing. Oh, man. I probably shouldn't have gone. I'm sorry, guys. Just sometimes the call, it happens, and I just gotta follow.
It's funny. Me and that bottle of lightning have more in common than most of the rest of you and myself.
That'd be neat if you could use it like some kind of charge up.
Like when
Opens it
Thor
up,
hits
tries
Iron Man
drinking
with
it.
the lightning and it overcharges him, and how about that? Fires it back.
He turns into the scene of the IG-88 just whipping around like mad, shooting everybody in Mandalorian. It just
Yeah.
ping, ping,
his
ping,
liver
ping, 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 ping. His laser eye actually gives off heat for once instead of just light. He starts melting crap. Now, actually, that's the ability you have. Don't you actually have a laser eye?
I have a 1d4 fire damage laser.
Yeah, like so. Imagine the beam widens and does like D12 and sustainable or something, and he overcharges himself. Or you blow yourself into 3 big pieces. You never know. 50% of one.
So yeah,
5 of the other.
automatons can suffocate, technically.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about automatons for a minute. Let's set the record straight on undead and automatons. So tell us some basic stuff while I'm looking up all that information for you guys. Tell us the basic stuff about what you can and can't do compared to a human there, Spiegler.
So yeah, I don't need to eat. I don't need rest other than like a short period of time to center my energies or whatever, like realign my central core energy. Otherwise, if I don't do that, then I would get fatigued as if a person not taking an 8-hour rest.
It's the same as me. I need a 4-hour kind of meditative state to regenerate and then back to normal again.
And not play dead. It's just downtime so that you're on par with character play.
Yeah, it's a long rest with air quotes, so to speak, type thing. It only needs 4 hours.
The explanation for the oxygen, though, is I have a very specific venting process that requires me to be inside of air, and if that air is either blocked or sucked out of the room or something like that, I would start to
it's like
over pressurized or something.
Car can't run without carburetor and taking air and stuff. So yeah. Those snorkels on trucks, right? You put a truck underwater and it just stalls. So
yeah.
Okay. It would be funny, though, to say that you have an exhaust out the back of you, but I won't touch that one. Put, 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 put.
The exhaust is located on 2 knobs on each part of my chest, that where the nipples would be.
You just smoke out the front. Can't bring that droid in here. No smoking.
I've got a long L-shaped pipe that comes out in my mouth with puffs of smoke. Can't pipe.
Okay, so they mention the hats, but they don't.
Another cool thing about automatons is my body can be destroyed, but the artifact that contains my soul essence in it can remain and last for thousands of years until it put into a new body or something like that.
Oh yeah, hence that's some of the cutscenes we had discussed. Okay, so how to disguise, guys, is 30 gold each. Sorry, not 10. But still, that's within your it's in your reach. 1 minute. It lasts for a minute, and you can only use it once per day.
The Hat of Disguise only lasts for 1 minute. It's once per day.
Yep. But the fact that you can turn, like the fact that you get a spell equivalent of 1 level illusionary disguise spell on you, and like what you could do, you could look like a town guard. You could look like, it's what you can do with it, what you can pass yourself off, right? You create an illusion that causes you to appear as another creature of the same body shape and with roughly the similar height, within 6 inches, and weight within 50 pounds as yourself. The disguise is typically good enough to hide your identity, but not impersonate a specific individual. The spell doesn't change your voice, your scent, or mannerisms. You can change the appearance of your clothing and worn items, however, such as making your armor look like a dress. Held items are unaffected, and any worn item you remove returns to its true appearance. Casting illusionary disguise counts as setting up a disguise for the impersonate use of deception. It ignores any circumstance penalties you might take for disguising yourself as a dissimilar creature. It gives you a +4 status to deception checks to prevent others from seeing through your disguise, and add your level even if you're untrained. So if you put on makeup and try to make a skeleton look like a human, there are penalties. The hat overrides that, lets you do it at par. And the hat gives you a +4 to deception to prevent when on the other side where people they try to use perception to see through the disguise because the guard has perfect teeth or chatters or acts weird, and they go, perception against your deception. It gives you a +4 bonus to the deception roll because the disguise illusion is so convincing. So those 2 facts alone make it worth the money compared to just dress, constantly putting Mr. Bag of Bones. Now, the illusionary spell, illusionary disguise, as Pylo said, he has that spell, right?
And it lasts for 10 minutes, and it's the same thing. I get a +4 deception check to pass as a generic member of the chosen ancestry.
Okay.
And add the level, so pretty good. But if we need the hats too, we can at least kind of go in there disguised. And Pylo is good for 10 minutes rather than 1 minute, so less chance of him getting.
It's up to you. Bombs, gold, or hats of disguise are all very, very valuable in this. And we will make those decisions next time.